Welcome to our YouTube video on the flooding in Peguis First Nation in Manitoba, Canada. On May 1, 2022, rapidly rising flood waters on the Fisher River forced 327 residents to leave their homes in a matter of days. Among those abruptly forced to leave was Arlene Spence, who has lived most of her life in Peguis First Nation. She and her husband had minimal time to gather their belongings before leaving their home. Arlene told us, "We had nothing except for the stuff from our car. It was really hard." Throughout their stay, Arlene and other evacuees have been relying on social assistance. Sadly, due to their homelessness, Arlene and many others are unable to be with their families during this difficult time. Though it gets harder for her each time, Arlene still visits her family hoping for an end in sight. Alana Sutherland, another evacuee, has moved hotels more times than there are months in a year. Unfortunately, many of the families in hotels are stuck with 7 to 4 children, unable to leave the rooms due to the guests and unable to afford the gas to travel. Alana is working with the evacuee support team in Winnipeg, which is providing her a distraction in her stressful situation. At the peak of the flooding, over 2,000 people were forced to leave their homes. 1 year later, 610 residents remain unable to return as their homes are filled with mold and have structural issues due to the flooding. The evacuee support team in Winnipeg, led by Cheryl Bear, has set up tents for those affected and provides mental health support for the 324 residents still living out of hotels. Cheryl believes education is a major component for many of the evacuees and is happy with the learning packages from the government, but knows it isn't enough. The federal government has provided Peguis First Nation with $18 million for flood response and recovery, with an additional $2.5 million for prevention and evacuation efforts. Cheryl Bear also would like for her fellow Manitobans to keep the evacuees in their prayers and to remember that 324 residents are still without a home. We commend and remember Arlene, Alana, and all the evacuees of Peguis First Nation for their courage, resilience, and strength in the face of this devastating situation. Our thoughts and prayers are with the evacuees as they try to stay strong and one day soon be able to safely return home.